Glorious Rising Soul Tribe. I have another message for you. This video is going to be titled, or should I say this video will be centered around my 9 Great Fathers parable. The 9 Great Fathers parable. That's what it's going to be titled, or that's what it's going to be based around. Before I go in, this quote right here, please take this with you. Don't be sorry. Do be better. Do's and don'ts. Do's and don'ts. Don't be sorry. Do be better. Stop trying to be sorry. Start trying to be better. That's the theme of the Great Father Energy parable, or this 9 Great Fathers parable. That's the theme there. Don't be sorry. Be better. So let's go on. What is the 9 Fathers parable inspired by? The 9 Fathers parable is inspired by all of the information that I have gathered thus far. All of it. Meaning it is inspired by the 9 Deadly Sins parable. It is inspired. I haven't told you that one yet. I'm about to tell you in this video here. It is inspired by the 9 Chakra Hierarchy System parable, or the 9 Chakra System Hierarchy parable. It's inspired by the Chakra Trimurti parable. It's inspired by the 9 Choirs of Angels hierarchy. It's inspired by the Super Jesus 47 game, and it's also inspired by the Christ game saga. It's inspired by all of it. This parable right here, the 9 Great Fathers parable. It's actually supposed to be one of my most important explanations that I have in my arsenal of explanations to help shatter the artificial foundation of the world. The one in which causes people to move within war, hatred, division, and stagnance versus moving within peace, love, unity, and advancement. Or should I say moving on top of this artificial infrastructure of the world has people moving on top of war, hatred, division, and stagnance versus moving on top of peace, love, unity, and advancement. You follow what I'm saying? So, the 9 Great Fathers parable. As I go on and explain, I'm going to let you know how each parable hierarchy is a constituent and or how it holds relation to the 9 Great Fathers parable. The 9 Great Fathers. Who are the 9 Great Fathers in this parable, and why are they the 9 Great Fathers? For one, I need to let you know, this here nerd parable, because that's what it is. It's essentially a 90s baby nerd parable mixed in with a whole bunch of recent characters and whatnot. So, the 9 Fathers, counting them from the spirit to the flesh, not the flesh to the spirit, and or analyzing them from the spirit to the flesh, not the flesh to the spirit. So, the first father is Black Lightning. Remember, it's a nerd parable, so I'm going to use things from cinema and things of that nature. It's because it's not that I'm, TV bound. I actually haven't watched a solid amount of TV since like 2012, but the amount of TV that I did get to watch, or the amount of programming that I did get to watch in the days that I was beginning to abandon media platforms completely, because I've abandoned a lot of interactions with programming, so to speak. Let's just say I don't actually watch a lot of TV nor play a lot of games at all. It's just I have some experience with TV and I have some experience with games, and I decided to use them for this mission. Soul Liberation and Global Child Mayu Mission. Moving forward. So, the first father on this list, Black Lightning, from the Black Lightning TV series. That father right there is the first one on this list. Why is Black Lightning the first father? Because on this list, the first slot is the slot that belongs to the Most High God's slot, or the conscious mind of the Most High God, should I say. Like I said, I'm going to combine them all into one. The second slot, the second father. This is the part that a lot of people may want to, not be too interested in hearing me talk about. The second slot belongs to the fake father, Yahweh. That's the second slot, and I'm going to tell you why later. The third slot belongs to Eric Killmonger. Eric Killmonger's not a father. Well, his character, the person who played his character, Michael B. Jordan, has another show called Raising Dion. Well, that woman in the show had a magnificent outcome that y'all should probably go take a look at, which is another reason why I'm just randomly mentioning the show. Raising Dion, Michael B. Jordan's character was a father. No, they are two different shows. Yeah, I know. But the thing is, he was still a father, technically. He played as one in the cinema world. It doesn't count at all. I can't even count it. It makes no sense to even try to count, but, you know. He wasn't a father, though. He was a son. Moving forward, though. So, the fourth slot. Who does the fourth slot belong to on this nerd parable of 9 Great Father Energies parable? It belongs to Asura from the video game called Asura's Wrath. Another video game. Who's the next father? And I'll tell you why it's Asura's Wrath in a moment. Wrath. Right by the vocal box. Wrath. Next, Pride. Or should I say, Vegeta from the Dragon Ball show. Or the Dragon Ball anime. That's the next father on this list here. And then the father after Vegeta, in the 6th slot, this would be Akuma from the Street Fighter lore world. It's a big nerd parable. It's probably it's most likely going to be the last nerd parable I tell you, but there's a reason behind it. The 9 fathers that I have on this list help me memorize the sins and the principalities that need to be slaughtered, and or that need to be disintegrated, and or that need to be deracinated, and then eradicated after its deracination. Look up what the word deracinate means. The 9 principalities melee is also tied into this here parable. Virtually every parable that I have taught, or every parable that I have said out loud up to this moment right here, is tied into this 9 fathers parable. All these nerds, all these video game, cartoon songs that I've been using and whatnot. But when I get to a point where it's time to drop any and all of the nerd talk, some people may be wishing for it to come back. Moving forward. But it's just the father energy, though. The father energy from these characters that I'm listing off here. Just the energy that they gave off in their stories and in their cinemas and in their scenographies and things of that nature. I'm going to tell you why in a moment. The next father, after Akuma, the 6th slot, the 7th slot, is mine own father. Meaning my personal father that raised me. One that may not be on good legs right now, spiritually speaking. Yeah, this world, everything is poisonous, so we begin to slowly lose our vessels, our physical vessels, at very early ages. You know what, before I go on, I just want to say this. Did you know, or did you ever notice, that everyone on the planet is relatively young? This is a relatively young species. Humanity is a relatively young species. Like I said, the millennials are going to be the ones to save this world. The millennials have been around for about 40 years globally. Think about that for a second. How old is Brother Ibrahim Traore? I'm about to be 35 in like 3 weeks. All of these things that we've experienced, why have we experienced them? You want to know why? Because we all, for the past 40 years in total, have grown up on a foundation in which is not our own. This foundation is not ours. This is why we're dying early, possibly even dying early, or sick, or losing our friends. The 7th slot belongs to mine own personal father. The 8th slot, who does it belong to? Kazuya Mishima from Tekken, the Tekken game world, the Tekken video game world. And there's a major story that I have that connects me to my father, and, or should I say, the next father on the slot here, Kazuya Mishima, Tekken world. And then after that, the final father is mine own brother. He's a father as well. 9 fathers, from Black Lightning to my own brother. So check it out. If you want to check it out, you don't have to. So what's the point of these 9 fathers here? All 9 of these fathers, in parts of their stories, in their lore, or in their world, they really connect to my mission, or they really can help connect my mission in seeing to that the 9 principalities, the 9 evil, negative principalities that are consuming the mind heart spaces of my family worldwide can be destroyed in a funner way. I got a funner way to destroy the negative 9 principalities within that's plaguing our mind heart spaces. And this 9 fathers great energy parable was supposed is going to help do this. Now here's why. Because all of the other hierarchies in which give the 9 fathers of 9 great energy fathers parable some strength, all of the other parables and hierarchies, they label and describe ways that I can turn character traits into persons, so to speak, with a certain select energy that'll connect to the source if the story is utilized properly. And once the story is connected to the source, meaning the heart of hearts principle, once it is connected and reminds us why certain things are even being said, the great father energy behind it, once we are, in other words, long story short, once we are reconnected to the great father's spiritual power energy, once we are reconnected to the great father's spiritual power morality, or the great father's spiritual morality, the powers of the great father's spiritual morality, should I say it like that? Like I said, I'm always making it up as I go. Once we are reconnected to the spiritual morality of the great father's spiritual energy, we'll take what can be labeled and described as the moral high grounds. Keep this in mind. The enemy cannot take any form of moral grounds at all. As a matter of fact, everything about this here world that we are currently in was built from the grounds of chaos. So if anything, any form of leadership in this world takes a moral turn for any reason, you're going to destroy everything about this world. Everything about your world will fall if any of you in charge try to take a moral direction. If you try to take a moral stance, or if you try to do anything based off of moral grounds, you'll ruin your world. Which is what my objective was the entire time, was it not? To see you all fall. Yeah, sure, a better world is going to come out of it. Oh, yeah, great. But ultimately, what I really wanted to do, which is destroy all evil, will overwhelmingly work. Just because I am saying how to be truly moral out loud. So, that's what the point of this 9 fathers parable is. To really, really put a firm reminder out there of how one can stand on properly moral grounds, on proper moral grounds. It's great father energy. The heart of hearts chakra is great father energy. Want to know why? Because the heart of hearts chakra is the non-physical, physical body of the King of all kings. The heart of hearts chakra is the non-physical, physical body of the King of all kings. And this is soul pride talk right here for him. Pride for the soul race. Here. So, the 9 fathers parable. I want to stick in this explanation for you for a while. So, each of these fathers come as constituents in this story with one of the 9 deadly sins, meaning like they're fighting them and or they are one and the same with them. Remember, this is all spiritual power, so it's all happening in the same place. Real quick before I go on, what are angels in reality? Stars. Moving forward now, the 9 fathers. So, the Black Lightning Father. What's the story behind his deadly sin that he has within this parable? Fear. Once we tap into what Black Lightning actually means for us, and or what the Black Lightning is for us, it'll eradicate our fears and or destroy our fears and or cancel out our fears, because we will realize we don't need them. Tap into an energy that gives you the ability to get rid of what you no longer need or want. You no longer need or want fear. No one does. Tap into the seraphic energy of Black Lightning. Tap into the seraphic Black Lightning energy. Tap into it to tap into the seraphim Black Lightning energy or fire. It's still the same source, fire and lightning. It's the source of fire and lightning. And once we tap into that source, the power of the Black Lightning, in a sense, It's just a black subtle lightning, though. It's black subtle lightning. And when you see it, it won't even be black. It'll be clear almost. Actually, the scientists just did some. The science people just posted one of their new achievements on some kind of news article online. They said they just made a new discovery of how electrons look. They made a new discovery on how electrons look. And when you take a look at the way the electron they discovered it looks like air. It looks like clear, clean air. But when you go out from a distance, it'll look like subtle lightning. Subtle lightning. And if you go out even further, it'll look like black subtle lightning when you view it from the source it is coming from. Logically speaking. Have I seen it with the Hubble telescope? No. I'm just going off of what all of the information has taught me thus far, and I am labeling and describing things to you on a logical sense. It's just logic. I'm just going off the logic I've read. When you take a look at all the things I've studied and experienced, the things I've experienced, and can combine all of them, combine all the pieces into one whole story that'll make as much sense to you as possible, and maybe to even those who may hear you speak to them. This is how you can gather the answers I have gathered. This is how you gather the answers I have gathered. This is how you gain the answers I've gained. This is how you gain the intellect or the information that I've gained, or can piece it together the way I piece it together. Be able to remember what you studied. Be able to see what you're looking at. Moving forward, if that makes sense to you. So, the Black Lightning's point of the Nine Fathers' Great Energy Parable. The reason why he's on this list. Because that is one superhero, a black one, a melanated superhero at that. That'll truly help eliminate the fears that you may have in your heart space if you give him a chance to. You got to give the Most High God a chance to eliminate your fears. You got to give the Most High God a chance. If you all knew who the Most High God truly was, you wouldn't have fears in your heart of it any longer. I guarantee you that. So this video, as well as all of my other explanations thereof, I hold the intentions in my heart that'll help see to it that you can get rid of and eliminate all the fears you have of the power you have inside you. My divine character traits are not of a bunch of white people with wings or eagle's wings. My divine character traits are not of a bunch of white people with eagle's wings. Moving forward, my divine character traits are stars. So, the next father on the list, the fake father, Yahweh. Why is Yahweh on this list? Why do I call Yahweh a fake father? All of the information that I studied on this jealousy god of yours. Jealousy in the crown chakra, because that's what the second slot is for. The first slot, the soul star chakra, where black lightning is. The second slot, the crown chakra, where Yahweh is. The cherubim. Yahweh is the cherubim. So, the father, the fake father, reason why I say fake father, because when you study the stories, you'll find out that Yahweh wouldn't even appear unto us as a man. It'd appear unto us as a woman. And it just so happens that this woman, our first self, was born from, alongside with all of the other male animal creatures. You don't necessarily have to buy that if you don't want to, though. I'm just going off of the logic of the taxonomic hierarchy. I'm going off of the logic based around that. All of the male creatures were born at the same time, and all of the female creatures were born at the same time. We're born from that same cosmic mother I'm talking about in this story, that tells us it's Father Yahweh, and it tells us it's the Lord God, and it tells us that you cannot have any other God over me, or contrary to me, because I am a jealous God. I am the Lord your God. Kneel before me, fear me, or I'm going to murder you and all your children. You see, I cannot buy the story of Yahweh being the Most High God anymore. Not when I have this information on the seraphic energy and or the soul star chakra energy and or the quantum soul energy. Quantum soul. The natural intelligence movements will be the antithesis of the artificial intelligence revolution moving forward. So, the crown chakra's father is Yahweh. That's the crown chakra's father. The soul star's father is black lightning. The crown chakra's father is Yahweh, jealousy. Now, becoming aware of this and how it ties in and why it ties into the slot that it's tied into, it's going to help you realize where the source of all of our problems are stemming from. They stem from jealousy. What do you call it when people are attacking you for what you have because they ain't got it? What do you call that? There's a word that can label and describe the behavior, and the behavior is called jealousy. Having or showing a feeling of envy for someone and their achievements and advantages. What does the word envy mean? The word envy means discontent or resentment towards something for what they got, like life. You have discontent towards me, meaning an unease feeling towards me because I got the power of this life in me. I got the power of this life light in me. Life light. Shout out to Sister Light too, by the way. I really love you. Every time I think of the word light, you come across my mind now. Moving forward. But this life light in me, this demon or these people, these principalities are attacking this life light in me. You follow what I'm saying? And jealousy is one of the demonic energies attacking the life light in me. Or the light being the conscious mind and the life being the subconscious mind. Christ being the conscious mind's energy and the Most High God being the subconscious mind's energy. You follow what I'm saying? Did you know we got 3 subconscious? Well, according to my chakra tree Murdy parable, if you'd like to buy it, we got 3 subconscious minds moving forward. So, the third father on the list now, because the second father is the jealousy father. The crown chakra's father is the jealousy father, the fake Yahweh. Because the jealousy father is on the logos, or the planetary has control over the planetary logos right now. Remember, the devil is the god of this age. This is how, because the devil has its ways upon our planetary subconscious mind. Logos, in other words. Look up what the word logos means. Jealousy is in control of the logos. Jealousy is in control of the logos. Jealousy is the source of all immoral authorities' primary trait. Jealousy is the source of all immoral authorities' primary trait. We need to beat jealousy so we can beat the true devil of the world. We need to beat jealousy so we can beat the true devil of the world. Awareness is the first step to beating the true devil of the world. Awareness is the first step to beating the true devil of the world. Because remember, the devil is not doing anything to you, or the devil is not physically doing anything to you because it doesn't have the power to physically harm you, so to speak. It does, but it doesn't. It only has the power to physically harm you to a degree. Everything else the devil has upon you all, my dear family, minds, is an entrenchment, is an influence, is a way, is an idea, a whole lot of things hammered into your head for trillions of years. Yeah. I've done more studying. I've connected the logic even more further. It's been trillions, not just billions, not just millions, not just thousands, trillions. Our species has been dealing with this one demon. Trillions, man. Moving forward. So the third father on this list now. The third eye chakra's father, the throne's father. Eric Killmonger from the Black Lightning Show. That's the third eye's father. But Eric Killmonger is not a father, man. Raising Dion and Black Panther are 2 different shows, aren't they? Well, yeah, but they were still played by the same guy. And if you connect that dot there in a way that can't possibly actually be connected, I'm just saying it, then yeah, Eric Killmonger is still a dad. No, he wasn't a dad. He was just a son. We know that. So it's technically an 8 fathers list, right? An 8 great fathers list, since you're trying to get everybody back to the 8-dimensional thinking, or the 8 belief system pillar anyways, the soul principle belief system pillar that still applies to everything. Sure. But 9, because of the Raising Dion show. I just want Eric Killmonger to be a father, a great father. I just wanted to see that. I just wanted to see that be a possibility here. Eric Killmonger said in the show, the sun will never set on the Wakandan Empire. The sun will never set upon the Wakandan Empire. What do you think he meant by that? It means the sun will never set. The sun will never set, meaning it'll never go down, meaning it'll never go down. It'll never set, meaning the light will always be upon the throne, meaning the light will always be upon the throne. The light will be upon the throne, but it'll never set upon the throne, because it'll never set. If it never sets, then that means it'll never get physically on the throne, right? Well, think about the logic behind these things for a moment. The light is just shining upon the throne, but no one's in the seat at all, because we don't need any leaders at all. We only need to walk the right way, all of us, globally. Global village, standing on soul principle all together. Global village, standing on soul principle all together. Moving in the right direction, everybody all at once. That's what we need. We don't need any leaders. Nothingness supremacy. Nothingness supremacy. There won't be any leaders. Now, this belief system right here, or this father slot right here, the third eye chakra's father slot, Eric Killmonger, the sun on the throne, the light on the throne, the light that shineth. What does the word light mean? The word light literally defines as the natural agent in which stimulates sight and makes things visible, like the throne with no one sitting on it. Our throne will have no one sitting on it. My throne will have no one sitting on it, not even me. I don't want to be your king or your leader. I only want to do or say things that will defend and protect you from these strikers, the negative 9 principalities. I don't need to lead you to stop the spiritual war. I don't need to lead anyone to end the spiritual war. This spiritual war is going to be easy for me to end. I haven't even shown you all in the tip of the iceberg and what I'm capable of, truly. You haven't even seen it. You know what? No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm just going to get back all that has been taken from me so I can utilize it, return myself back to normal, and tear your foundation apart. All the negative 9 principalities are going to fall immediately due to my efforts in ensuring they will do so. And what will happen when all those 9 evil principalities fall? The one principality is going to reclaim its rightful position, and all of the principality angels will finally return back to their rightful positionings in our mind heart spaces as the stars thereof. Remember, the angels are spiritual beings, spiritual attendants. Chakras are spiritual powers. Everything spiritual is within the same place. Everything spiritual is within the same place. So that means all of the angels are in the same place as the chakras. All of the chakras are in the same place as the angels. All of the planets thereof, heaven, the firmament, they are all the same thing. All of them are. The angels are the stars of the universe. The angels are the stars of the universe. Christ is the light of the universe. Christ is the light of the universe. The true Most High God is the soul of the universe. Moving forward, the third eye chakra, the sun, will never set upon the Wakandan Empire. Meaning, the Wakandan Empire means God's kingdom worldwide, by the way. I'm just going to say that out loud. But what he meant when he said the Wakandan Empire, what he was really talking about is the 2 billion alone people. It's way more than 2 billion, bro. Maybe he was counting the Wakandan numbers and then the people outside of Wakanda. Maybe in the MCU, maybe he was. But, man, it's way more than 2 billion people in the world, bro. Way more than 2 billion. It's way more than 2 billion things to fight for. It's way more than 2 billion things to fight for here. Way more. So, let's fight for them all. That was supposed to pause. You weren't supposed to see that. Moving forward, though. So there are way more than 2 billion people to fight for, that the sun should always remain upon, or the light should always remain shining upon. So the sun will never set upon the Wakandan Empire, meaning the light will never go down on God's kingdom. The light will always have the high grounds in God's kingdom. The light will always have the high grounds in God's kingdom, meaning we'll always have our thrones, angels, giving us the ability to see everything. They'll be like the infinite eye thing, angel that we've seen in the sky with the wheels rotating around. That thrones angel is simply a sun parable. That's all it is. A sun parable. Moving forward now. The fourth father on the list, and why? Asura's Wrath, or Asura from the video game Asura's Wrath. And by the way, I said fear, then jealousy. The third eye sin is sloth. Now, due to the explanation I have in regards to sloth, I'm going to just say this before I move forward. The explanation I have in regards to sloth. Remember, slothful energy is not hurting you at all. Slothful energy is not hurting you at all. Just like the balanced energy is not hurting you at all. Just like the balanced energy is not hurting you at all. Nor are they telling you what you should be doing with your life. You follow what I'm saying? And the characteristics that your life has thereof naturally. Balanced energy and or slothful energy is not telling you what to do in regards to how you should be controlling this magnificent energy at all. You follow what I'm saying? So, therefore, just let it go and let it be. And you do you, as the energy does itself for you, or serves itself for you, because you are the energy. You are the spiritual power. The spiritual power serves you to be you. Remember, this force that we are up against is just playing God, playing God, playing God, right? How do you play God? Well, what is the real God doing? Giving you life and your abilities to function properly. So if the enemy is playing God, then that means you're playing the wrong way that God would play here. Because if God is playing the role of giving life and the abilities to live them accurately, then the enemy would be doing the opposite, since it's faking, right? That means it's taking life and the abilities to live them accurately. Same story. Told you I got the same story to kick to you, man. Moving forward. So, the fourth father on the list, wrath. The vocals. Remember, I'm using my voice and what I have left of it to tell you these things. And it's combined with a story that involves my character traits, or my one character slaughtering and or defeating in spirit a whole lot of other so-called gods, just like in the Asura's Wrath story, if you ever played the game. Just like in that game, how Asura went crazy and defeated the 7 deities, and using my voice and in spirit, I'm gonna essentially go crazy and defeat the other 8 principalities, or the all nine dark principalities in our minds that are ruling our mind heart spaces and are governing the world right now currently. Just like in the Asura's Wrath, using my voice and my experiences and labeling and describing things out loud and posting videos online to tell you how I'm doing it, I am essentially performing the Asura's Wrath story and going through the spirit and just laying waste to all of the negative principalities until the Father's Heart of Hearts principality reclaims control over thy mind heart space once again. You follow what I'm saying? That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm explaining these things. It's stories, it's character, it's all of these things. I don't play video games for real. I don't play games at all. I cannot stand games, honestly. It's just I used to. And I'm using what I used to have, because I'm just using what I got, as I have always been doing. Just using what I got to label and describe something to you that may help. Using what I got to label and describe something to you that may help. That's what I'm doing here. So, Asura's Wrath. Using my voice and my spiritual capabilities, my dominating voice, my voice of dominions. Your vocal cords hold a lot of power over your life, wouldn't you agree? Things you say, they can control your way. Things you play, they control what you say, you see? So, using my voice My spiritual powers dominate the 9 negative evil principalities within our mind heart spaces so that the heart of hearts can take control over them all once again. Speaking of the heart of hearts, and it's going to be just like the Osiris, it's going to be similar to the Osiris Wrath video game story. Similar to it. Moving forward, the next father on the Great Father energy list, because it's all just one Great Father energy. Remember, all 9 of my fathers come from the same source of positive thinking and or positive energy as all 9 of the negative energies do. All 9 of the negative principalities. You follow what I'm saying? So, what are the 9 principalities? What are the 9 negative principalities come from? The devil's source. Where do my 9 Great Father energies come from? My source. And it just so happens that their characteristical spiritual powers within these stories are going to be used due to me experiencing them, due to just me experiencing those characteristical traits and those spiritual powers of those video games and anime characters that I've seen, of those few times that I've seen them in my lifespan within these 35 years that I've been on this planet. Just going to use the spiritual powers to help me rid the way of the 9 principalities, the negative 9 principalities, spiritual powers within the mind heart space of the spiritual world. Remember, we all only have one chakra listing or one chakra row or one chakra setup or one chakra of vortice hierarchy. We only got one. So that means we all only got one heart of hearts chakra. You see, me using my spiritual powers to necessarily summon 9 fathers in the spirit world, or to summon 9, want to say Terminator Squad powers, spiritual Great Father powers in the spiritual world to beat the 9 principalities. This is a way to ensure love conquers hatred. If that makes sense to you. There's certain words that when I get to them, they're kind of, I want to say, cringe to say, because it's all so positive, yo. When you take a look at all this information, truly, it's all so positive. It really is. It's just what I have to use in my situation to explain these things. I'm not all the way 100% there. Moving forward. So, Vegeta is the next father on this list. The powerful, ultra ego Vegeta. I said in a previous video the third eye chakra was purple. That's because I was going off of some of the older information. Remember, they have different colors on everything. Like in some illustrations of, or in some descriptions of the chakra hierarchy, you'll see that the third eye chakra is actually purple or indigo. Or not indigo, but you'll see that it's purple. And then you'll see that the crown chakra is like a little bit lighter purple. But then you'll see on a lot other chakra hierarchy listings, you'll notice that the third eye chakra is indigo blue. Indigo blue. It's not purple, it's indigo blue. The crown chakra is the purple one. I said in a previous video, when I was trying to give some anything to the possible white natural intelligence movement leaders that may be getting ready to rise up in the future, I was telling Geekdom 101, Vegeta's hair, when it transforms, it turns purple. Third eye is purple. Incorrect. The third eye is indigo blue. The crown chakra is purple. And when Vegeta goes ultra ego and transforms to that powerful form of his, notice the top of his hair turns purple like the crown chakra does. The top of his head turns purple like the crown chakra does. The third eye chakra is right there with the crown chakra. The third eye chakra is right there underneath the crown chakra. The jealousy father sits in the crown chakra. The jealousy fake father sits in the crown chakra. The way I got this plot armor set up is that at the end, all of the fathers are going to fuse together with Eric Killmonger. And Eric Killmonger is going to kick the crap out of the jealousy father with the transformed ultra ego pop. You know what I'm saying? And it's just going to blow it out of the goddamn water. Well, at least that's how I got the story set up. Just a fun way to talk about it. Like I said, I gave him infinite plot armor. And this is all the spiritual power, so it all works in the spirit the way I want it to work in the spirit anyways. So yeah, Eric Killmonger is going to fuse with all of the other fathers that I got on this list in this anime spiritual powered parable world that I'm making up here as I'm going along. And he's going to be able to kick the butt of the jealousy father, in which is the reasoning why all of the other 8 negative principalities are within our mind heart spaces right now, along with itself being jealousy, meaning jealousy is the source of all immoral authority, as I said earlier, and my balanced son is going to kick its butt in the spirit. I don't like using profanity. Moving forward. So it's technically 8 negative principalities against 8 great fathers, isn't it? Yeah, no. Moving forward, right? So, the soul pride, Vegeta. Soul pride. Having the soul pride for my father's principality, my real father's principality, or my real master's principality, meaning the heart of hearts chakra. We only got one heart chakra, so that means we only got one heart of hearts. We only got one heart chakra worldwide, universally. So that means we only got one heart. We only got one heart chakra. Said it right. And that heart chakra just so happens to be the principle of the universe and or the principle of physical reality. And I say the principle of physical reality because all of the other powers that are connected to this one energy that leads all the way up to the soul star chakra, the most high God, and or what I see as the most high God. You see. Moving forward now. So, Vegeta's pride. Like the pride deadly sin. Pride is being used against us. Remember, this enemy takes all of nature and turns it against all of nature. That's what this enemy does. This enemy takes all of nature and turns it against all of nature. This jealousy enemy, meaning this jealousy enemy that came with these other 8 negative principalities. This jealousy enemy that came with the other 8 negative principalities. And now I have a great father energy spiritual parable third eye chakra that's coming with 8 other great fathers. And now I have within my spiritual power definitions or my spiritual power energy 8 other great father energies that are coming to take them all out. That's the point of this parable. Like I said, the characteristics of these stories are what's going to drive them home moving forward. So the next father, Vegeta's soul pride, or pride for the soul race. That's the main key ingredient to that story there. Pride for the soul race. Pride for the soul race. That's the main key ingredient to that Vegeta story. Just that one simple line, pride for the soul race. And then you can count all the ultra ego and all the other stuff that there's a constituent of his story thereof. The word constituent meaning something that is a part of something, that is a whole of something, a part or piece. You follow me? Moving forward. The next father is Akuma. Now, according to the Street Fighter lore, Akuma is the father of Ryu. That's why he's on the list, or one of the reasons why. He is up against the gluttony spirit and or is the gluttony spirit, the gluttonous for fighting. When you all come to a point where you don't want to fight no more and be like the devil, because don't forget, Akuma's name in Japanese literally means devil. When you no longer want to be like the devil and fight each other anymore and be gluttonous for lies and gluttonous for disrespect, because let's not forget the enemy taught you to be gluttonous for disrespect. Taught you to just take disrespect. Taught you to just take it. Love disrespect, love abuse, protect evil. That's what the enemy taught you. Love to fight all day long. Love to fight like this gluttonous Akuma does in Street Fighter. The gluttonous for fighting. Moving forward. You can be a gluttonous for anything. You can be a gluttonous for anything. You don't have to be just for eating. And notice Akuma lands on the solar plexus chakra as well. The powers of the conscious mind. Our third conscious mind. Our physical conscious mind is where the solar plexus lies. Powers of human imagination. So, don't be a gluttonous for fighting. Don't be a gluttonous for anything negative at all. Be a gluttonous for great father energy. Be a gluttonous for great father energy. The heart of hearts energy. In other words, moving forward. So, story lore. Street Fighter world, Akuma. I believe that Akuma is Ryu's father. So who would be Ryu's mother? I believe Kazumi from Tekken, the Tekken world. Just a what-if story to throw out there. You'll see why I got it like this in a moment. I believe that, yeah, Ryu is the son of Akuma and Kazumi. Because what if Kazumi had an affair with on Heihachi or something? Is Ryu and Kazuya the same age? Are Ryu and Kazuya Mishima the same age? Are they? Who knows? It's just a what if scenario to throw in your heads as I go moving forward. So, The next father on the list. So what's the significance of Akuma's story? Like I said, don't be like him. Don't be like the devil. Don't be a gluttonous for fighting. Or be able to have the mentality ready to go to fight till you turn into stone or something. Be ready or have the desire or have the tool of being able to fight, and not to the point where you're hungering for fighting like Akuma does, but just have the trait and or ability locked in hand to have a backbone to fight in your mind. Fighting spiritual mind. You're going to need that in this world here. That's what the trait was for. Akuma is a gluttonous for fighting in the story. Gluttonous for fighting, meaning he enjoys fighting and embellishes in fighting and things of that nature. Now, when you put this in a spiritual perspective in real life, knowing how the world is constantly on an onslaught of your mind space, the world is constantly in an onslaught of your mind space, you'll have to have a desire to fight it all off at all times. Burn it out of your head. At all times, it is trying to get into your mind. Now remember, the chakra tree Murdy parable, it's based on the cosmic measurements or the cosmic visuals of the chakra hierarchy setup. Because remember, we only have one cosmic chakra vortice. We only have one cosmic chakra line. We only got one. All of us universally, meaning all of reality only has one chakra line. And the solar plexus in this chakra tree Murdy parable just so happens to land on being our conscious mind's capabilities, our physical body's conscious mind. The solar plexus is our physical body's conscious mind, and its element is fire. The solar plexus conscious mind's element is fire. You follow what I'm saying? Things go in there and burn until they become a stone that can resist the fires or just perish within them. Every negative aspect that it has thereof, due to your fighting conscious mind spirits that is now the father within there thereof, to fight off all of the negative energies that'll try to come in from whatever you eat and whatever you think or whatever you see. I meant to say, whatever you eat or think as well, whatever you eat and whatever you see. The nourishment of guard the nourishment of thy mind and mouth. Guard the nourishment, eyes and mouth. Guard the nourishment of thy eyes and mouth. Guard the nourishment of thine eyes and mouth. Ensure what thine eyes and mouth consume will be all good for your spiritual upliftings progresses. Ensure all that you consume with thy mind, with thine eyes and mouth, will be beneficial for thy spiritual upliftings, for thy spiritual uplifting practices. Say it like that. Ensure that all thine eyes and mouth, your eyes and mouth, ensure that they consume what is good for thine spiritual upliftings practices. Moving forward, the next father. But that's the significance of the Akuma story, or the Akuma father. Always fighting off the negative energies that try to enter your mind due to the foundation we have all grown up on globally for the last 40 years, talking to the millennials. This foundation has been here for the last 40 years. How old are we as millennials globally, worldwide? 85 to 95, right? So that means all the millennials have grown up and or experienced this foundation for the past 40 years, for the past 4 decades. How many crazy things have happened to us? Not just the past 4 years, the past 4 decades. How many things can we calculate that happened to us? Just millennials alone. How many things have they tried to poison our minds with? How many things have they tried to poison our eyes and mouth with? You see, and the Akuma father is the solar plexus father. The fighting spirit, the gluttonous for fighting. Beat the negative energies out of your head. Moving forward. Losing time now. Okay, the next father then. Minds. Did you know if we all had virtuous fathers growing up, none of us would have experienced any of the things we would have experienced at all? Nor would my father nor any father of this world have allowed any outside mouth to tell them how to raise their child. If we all had better fathers or great fathers growing up, none of us would have experienced anything we would have experienced from them foully at all. Moving forward, that's the significance of that story. More details though for a second. Did you know The virtues angel is actually in the 7th slot on the hierarchy listing, meaning principalities is not the 7th slot, virtues is the 7th slot. And if virtues was in the 7th slot, that means virtues would land directly on the sacral chakras aspects. That means virtues would have been the number one thing we stand on physically. That's way better than the principalities that run this world for us to be standing on physically. Because that's exactly why they switch principalities with virtues, so that principalities, the negative principalities of this world, would be leading us in the physical, versus the virtues that we all harbor naturally leading us in the physical, and the principalities being the heart of hearts chakra leading us in the astral. That's why they switched it up. That's why St. Pope Gregory I switched it up. Moving forward. So my father being in this slot lands virtuous traits on his slot, and takes away any other foul things that these people that are serving this demon force you to commit unto me. You are forgiven automatically. But physically, I don't ever forgive anyone. I just trick talk you into doing better for the rest of your life. And watching you be obligated to do better for the rest of your life is my vengeance upon thee. Moving forward now. Kazuya Mishima is the next father. The root chakra's father, the archangel father. Take these words. Oh yeah, so Kazuya may be Ryu's stepbrother, and they're both on this list, and that's how the story can tie together. But take these words. Kazuya Mishima has in one of his stories in the game called Tekken 4, where he says to Heihachi, who takes him to his son, the other half of his powers, he says to Heihachi, I am what you would refer to as devil. Here's the significance of that story that I'm taking and applying to real life. I don't stand on greedy principles at all, nor do I stand on lustful principles. I stand on the heart of hearts principles, and the heart of hearts principles only. But here's the problem though. The heart of hearts principles are all for peace, love, unity, and advancement. Your principles are all for war, hatred, division, and stagnance. And it takes some very greedy individuals to execute those things and or to follow in one of the 9 negative principalities, which is greed, and or to stand on them to execute these things. But here's what I'm ultimately getting at. Due to you all standing on what you stand on, I can't stand for it and or can't stand on them at all. So what would that make me in a world like yours, where everybody is standing on a foul principle versus the heart of hearts principle? My gosh, you would all call me evil in a world like yours. You know, the word evil, it defines as what's profoundly immoral and wicked. Profoundly immoral and wicked. The word profound means what's very great or intense. The word immoral means what's not conforming to accepted standards of morality, meaning accepted standards of morals. In this world, we call what is truly good evil and call what is truly evil good. I don't accept any of your standards of morality at all. So that would classify me as something as evil, wouldn't it? Well, then you know what? Just because of this world and the fake foundation we've all been forced to grow up on in it, I am what you would refer to as devil. I am what you would refer to as devil. Did you know Satan's an archangel? You know Lucifer's an archangel, right? You know that's exactly what I am too, logically speaking. An archangel means chief angel, angel in charge of its own spiritual being. That's what I am. I'm an angel or a spiritual being in charge of mine own spiritual being, meaning I'm the chief of mine own vessel, as you all are. So you're all archangels. Moving forward, right? Now, the last father on this list. The significance of that story, though. Kazuya is the father of the root chakra's energy, and is going to be going up against greed. Endor is one and the same with greed. Endor, if you notice the character of Kazuya's story, once he lost that devil gene in Tekken 8-2, the greed spirit began to die within his persona. Racism is built off of greed too, isn't it? See how it all connects? It's all inspired, but here, run out of time. So I'm going to land this real quick. Now, the final father is my brother. Ignorance of the heart is the fear of the Most High. The ignorance principality is the Earth Star's principality, Endor, my brother's principality right now, currently. Once my brother learns more, he's going to be a magnificent father. I guarantee you that. That's all I wanted to share with you for this video, though. The 9 principalities melee and the 9 fathers hierarchy, and the importance and the significance of the story here. These positive energies, these positive energy guides are going to be what annihilates these negative energy anchors. You follow what I'm saying? And the more you learn, the more you rise. You're going to rise above with me. Shalom, shalom, shalom. I don't desire to be your king or your leader. I only desire to do or say things that will defend and protect you from these strikes. Therefore, love your neighbors, you love yourself. Matthew 22:39. Defend your neighbors, you defend yourself. At least those who are worthy. Be lifted in the spirit, not be less in the spirit, and walk good forever. Peace, love, unity, and advancement to you all, my family.